Get back, straighten your face out, Stuart. Let's get back to Friday's debacle. I say it undermines President Trump's growth agenda. With us now from the London Centre for Policy Research, Dr. Herb London, back with us again. Look, I say that it was a debacle. It was a gross failure by the Republican Party in its first test. I think that undermines the rest of the agenda going forward. Are you with me?
Well, not entirely. I mean, I think that on the question of tax reform, there's more likely to be consensus. In this particular matter, yes, I think so. But on the issue of Medicare or Obamacare, one of the things that you have to consider is that you had years to plan a strategy. You had years to develop consensus. I am very angry at the Republican Party for not using this extraordinary opportunity to build consensus when clearly it could have been done. Ryan should have been doing that.
Oh, you're angry at Ryan and not the Freedom Caucus?
I'm angry at both. I'm angry at both. Look, they should have been working together. Mr. Meadows is not so intransigent that he could not be worked with. The problem is the kind of leadership that was provided. If you are going to engage in horse trading, which obviously was necessary, it was necessary years ago. The Republicans knew that they had this opportunity. They could have started building an agenda for the future.
Why do you say that consensus on tax reform is more likely? Remember, you've got this border tax. There's a huge sticking point.
I think the border tax will be an issue. I think you're right. But I think the overarching issue will be corporate taxes. And there I think there is agreement on the part of both the pragmatists as well as the ideologues. There's no doubt that all of them now believe corporate taxes have to be decreased in order to get the kind of growth that we're looking for in the United States. Look, at 4% growth, there's an awful lot that can be healed in America.
But yeah, I agree with you entirely. But that 4% growth target is receding. It's going further and further into the distance the longer and more watered down a tax cut package becomes. And now, does it have to be a package? In other words, do you have to lump together corporate tax rate cuts, individual tax rate cuts, and the border tax?
No, you do not. And in fact, one of the things that could be done is this matter could be looked at incrementally. But there is no doubt that this becomes a key issue, and I do believe that the Republicans have learned something from this experience last Friday.
What?
What? That they've got to work together in some fashion, that they control the government, that the cynicism that's so widespread. You look at Ms. Pelosi, who belongs in a house of wax. Ms. Pelosi clearly suggested that you see the failure. You see the failure of America. Well, it's not the failure of America. It's a failure of a party to come together. And Schumer, I mean, the same sort of thing. I mean, what you have here is a fellow who's losing his hair and his nose is growing longer as a result of all of the lies. But here you have the fellow who is unquestionably interested in seeing the Republican Party fail, not to see the country succeed. We have to move forward on Obamacare.
You think we have to move forward on Obamacare?
On Obamacare and taxes.
It's not going to happen anytime soon.
Of course not.
Obamacare?
Of course not. It's going to fail.
It's with us forever.
It is going to fail. It is with us forever. Not forever, but it will fail. It's going to die of its own weight. But what you do have to call, which I think is important, on the matter of tax reform, I think you've got a different kind of consensus, a different set of constituencies that you're dealing with. I do believe that could be successful.
Show me the evidence this Monday morning that makes you think we're going to get consensus on tax reform amongst Republicans. Where's the evidence for that?
You know something? I cannot provide you with evidence except conversations that I've had with some of those people who you would describe as the ideologues in the Obamacare debate.
You've talked to conservative Freedom Caucus people?
Yes, I have.
And are they now sorry for what they've done?
Well, some of them are. Some of them are, and some of them believe they didn't move in the right direction.
Well, Ted Poe has come out and said he's left the caucus.
Well, that's clearly an example. But I'm suggesting to you, take a look at this issue. The Republicans, I think, have learned something from it. The President of the United States has suggested he's learned something from it. I do think that we're moving in a different direction now, and I do think that the matter of tax cuts will occur. I do believe that will.
Are you a donor to the Republican Party? Forgive me for asking. Yes, a donor. You give money.
I mean, I have an occasion, very infrequently.
Well, will you in the future if they don't get themselves together on tax reform?
Of course not. Of course not.
Could you vote Democrat if they don't get it together on tax reform?
That would be very, very difficult. Look, I was mugged by reality in the past. I used to be a Democrat in a former life.
Sound like Ronald Reagan? That's exactly what he said. Dr. Herb London, thank you very much indeed, sir. We appreciate it.
Always a pleasure to be with you. Thank you.